please direct your attention to your listening device for the show that believes there is no such thing as useless sports knowledge. This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast.
Welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. This is episode 343, which is a great attacking formation in soccer. It's also the career reception total for Kyle Brady, and the approximate number of Tweety Seahawk birds Drake May saw circling his head after the Super Bowl.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm your host, Snyder, and today's game will be pitting the Benchwarmer team of Dave Wirtz and Mason versus benchwarmer David Lux and newcomer to the bench and an old buddy of mine, comedian and writer for Late Night with Seth Meyers, Matt the Philly Goldfinch Goldich. Welcome to the bench, Matt. Why don't you take a minute to tell us where you're from, what teams you root for, anything else you'd like our listenership to know about you?
Well, I'm here in New York City. I'm basically a New Yorker in every single way, except for my diehard Philly fandom, which comes from our shared childhood in the suburbs of Philadelphia. And, it's pretty much Eagles, Sixers, Phillies all the way. And unfortunately or unfortunately, I have passed all of that down to my son, who has never lived in Philadelphia. But, normally I would say I would never be happy passing down a bunch of a bunch of losing teams, but they've had a lot more success in his lifetime than they did in the same period of my lifetime. So he's actually in good shape.
Awesome. Definitely the case. David, what is the good word? Why don't you let us know what your and Matt's team name is going to be today?
Well, I'll just tell you real quickly that happy to be here. And Matt is probably the second person that's ever been on this podcast that is a graduate of Brown University. But that has nothing to do with our team name, because I can't torture Josh Bombeck quite to that level. I was doing a bunch of research on Matt before he started, which is what I do, stalk all of our guests, and discovered some of his bits that he wrote for Seth Meyers, and caught one that I think is probably appropriately sophomoric for this crowd. And I'm going to turn it right over to Matt to sort of give the explanation. I'm not sure I could do it justice, but there's a great searchable on YouTube bit where Seth seemingly, and I guess this is a recurring thing, Seth Meyers mocks one of his writers, and that is our guest tonight, Matt. So, Matt, you want to tell us about our team?
He mocks several of us, and I tend to get the brunt of it. But yeah, there was a joke. It's funny because I think I had an old stand-up joke that was a similar pun. But there was a news story about the Irish airline Aer Lingus, and I don't know why my mind went to Air Latio, but that was the punchline I wrote that got made fun of. I don't remember the exact joke, the context, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about Irish culture to know whether lingus has another meaning there. But anyway, I guess we're going with Air Latio, but A-E-R in the Irish spelling as our team name, correct?
Correct, absolutely.
Okay.
As if it matters on an audio medium, but yes, A-E-R Latio.
Sure, okay.
Perfect.
We didn't even put on the scoreboard right behind all of us.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, Matt, speaking of the scoreboard, I have seen the stat sheet, and you're not the most mocked of the writers there. There's somebody at least who seemed slightly more mocked than you. So, you got things to aspire to.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've gotten zero credit for any of the good ones. It's only the bad ones.
Right. So. Why would he mock you for the good ones? Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I like the bad ones just as much as the good ones. But I'm moving over to our other team here today. After Air Latio, Mason, how's by you?
Oh, man.
Speaking of bad jokes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I didn't acknowledge it because it was that bad. Yeah, I'm doing well. Tomorrow is the start of college baseball, pretty much. They had a couple of games already, but it starts tomorrow. So definitely excited to see LSU try to do another title defense. And also because I'm a math nerd, I'm honored that I get to be on an episode where the number is a perfect cube. And that's not going to happen for a while. So if we make it to episode 512, then we'll revisit that. But happy as a math nerd to get that honor in a way.
David. Okay. Well, Dave, what is the status of your fabulous existence? Are you feeling perfectly cubic today?
You know what? No, I'm feeling contemptibly round, and I'm okay with that. You know what? I don't body shame at all, especially for a man that wears as much spandex as I do. I can't really. So, but yeah, I was talking with Mason, and I've myself have really been getting into the Olympics, but not necessarily for any of the sports. And I think the stories that have been going on have been just tremendous, and specifically the one that kicked off the Olympics, which was the sausage scandal, if you would, with the skiers. And we felt that would be a great way to encompass this team, because Mason agreed that we needed a lift. So that's going to be our team name. We needed a lift.
This couldn't have gone better if we planned it. We've got air ratio taking off in the air, and then we needed a lift.
Mm-hmm.
Referring to Crotchgate in the ski jump scandal. And that brings us to the rules. We'll pass it off to Benchwarmer Emeritus Stan to give us the rules for the game.
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with a different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them to you as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
Now that we know the rules of the game, we'll move on to the first quarter. Today's first quarter will be pre- and post-game.
Pre- and post-game. For this quarter, there will be 4 before and after style questions. For example, if I asked, what all-time leader in receptions for the Indianapolis Colts was a Notre Dame safety drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, the answer would be Marvin Harrison Smith. Each question is worth 25 points.
All right. For today's pre- and post-game, each pre- and post-game will include a non-all-star member of the Philadelphia Phillies for most recent pennant-winning seasons that did not result in a World Series victory. That doesn't mean that they didn't win the World Series with the Phillies in a different year, just that they were also on a non-winning team. And I'm going to tell you the years. You're not going to have to guess that. Question number 1. Hall of Fame Dodgers shortstop, whose nickname came from being a champion marbles player in his childhood, rather than from his playhouse. And first baseman and left fielder who hit his peak during the 2022 Phillies run to the World Series, then proceeded to go 3 for 25 with 10 strikeouts for a negative 27% championship win percentage in the 4-2 loss to the Houston Asterisks, making Phillies fans lose their marbles. As of this recording, he is still a free agent after injuries limited him to 90 games last year for the Brewers.
We will check in.
We needed a lift. This checked in. Thanks for the lift, guys. Air Lachiel, feel free to talk it out.
All right, so I'm pretty sure I can nail the first half of this one because it's old timey. But do you know it? Do you know either piece?
Yeah, I knew both actually.
Okay.
The first half would be, Hall of Fame Dodgers shortstop. The only one I could think of was Pee Wee Reese, and then I actually did not. Because I was stuck on Reese, I was like, who on the Phillies was it? And then as soon as he described first baseman, I thought I knew it was Reese Hoskins. So it'd be Pee Wee Reese Hoskins.
That's right. And I completely missed that Josh had Playhouse in quotes in his clue. I did not see that at all.
I didn't catch that either.
Yes, Pee Wee Reese Hoskins. We'll check that in.
Okay, over to you. We needed a lift.
Former Brewer for the past 2 years. Sat down on the bench for most of it. So he's basically us. It's Pee Wee Reese Hoskins.
Both teams are correct. It is Pee Wee Reese Hoskins. The Chabad Lubavitch Hasidic movement commissioned a comic strip featuring a character based on Pee Wee Reese. The style of the strip was in the visual style of Chester Gould's Dick Tracy. And Reese Hoskins is actually the Phillies' fastest player to reach 30 home runs, 100 RBIs, and 100 walks. And he was the first player to hit 20 home runs in a round of the home run derby.
He was the fastest player in Brewers uniform to be as popular as ever into pure obscurity.
Yeah, remains to be seen where and if he will be signed in this beginning of this training camp where we are right now.
Okay, hold on a second. The Chabad story is true. It's amazing that my father never just. And my father, who swore off baseball completely when the Dodgers left Brooklyn, is this true? The Chabad business?
No, that is true. I wouldn't make that up.
No, well, you might have made that up. That would absolutely.
I do make things up all the time,
Okay.
but this one they commissioned a comic strip with a character based on Pee Wee Reese.
I see.
Not
Okay.
that it's actually a bio.
Okay. You're good.
All right. Moving on to question number 2. Right-handed pitcher who started his career with the Moneyball A's, then as a Philly in 2008 became the first pitcher to hit a World Series home run since 1974. He also led the 2009 team in innings pitch. And middle linebacker for the Giants, who won a Super Bowl with them in 2008, and 15 years later beat them in his interim head coaching debut for the Raiders, helping him earn the full-time gig. For a year, at least.
We will check in.
We Needed a Lift has checked in. Air Latio, feel free to talk it out, guys.
All right. So, Matt, you know the first half of this one?
All right. Well, the first one immediately I knew was Joe Blanton, the Phillies
Yes.
pitcher who hit the home run in the World Series. That was
I
very
agree.
famous. And then it took me a second to get the coach because I was hung up on the word Blanton.
Right.
But you said Antonio, which gives me Antonio Pierce, which would be the maybe one of the worst head coaches of all time, I think, in the NFL.
There's a lot of competition for that, but yeah. Okay.
But I was confused a minute because there was also like a Raiders special teams coach at one point who got the interim job, and everyone wanted him to be the head coach because he actually did pretty good. I'm blanking on his name, but it's so it'll be Joe Blantonio Pierce. Is that what
Yes.
we're going with?
100%.
Okay.
That's 100%.
All right.
Yep. All right. Check that in.
Okay, over to you. We Needed a Lift.
Yes, Joe Blanton, first team all neck. We had Joe Blantonio Pierce.
Both teams getting points, and that interim coach you're thinking of, Matt, is Rich Bisaccia,
Oh yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, the Green Bay is saddled with him as a terrible special teams coach.
I believe he actually took the Raiders to the playoffs. Joe Blanton won a second World Series with the Royals in 2015, and he enjoys a career as a winemaker of Cabernet Sauvignon under the Sella Wines label. Antonio Pierce served once as a communications intern on the Howard Stern show for one day, and then he asked to stay for the week, which Stern agreed to. He recently interviewed for the Falcons' head coaching job.
And how did that go for him?
Not so well. Kevin Stefanski got hired pretty quickly. On to question 3. Former Ranger and 1993 Phillies left fielder, platooning with Dave Hollins, who co-led the team in homers with 24, and who still holds the NCAA Division I record for homers in a season and career, and flaxen-haired U.S. Olympic men's skater currently tearing up the ice in Milan, known as the Quad God.
Okay. We will check in.
All right, Air Latio has checked in. We Needed a Lift. Feel free to talk it out.
Oh man, we are going deep into the baseball annals.
I should know this name for the first half. That's the problem. I should know it because I'm a big college baseball fan. I don't remember his name though, or where he even went.
I believe it's Pete. Pete. It's like
Incaviglia.
Incaviglia.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, when you said Pete and you started that, we were saying, yeah, okay, that I recognize that name.
And that would leave it to I'm trying to like piece it all together because I know the Quad God, very young dude. It's Ilya Malinin. So Pete Incaviglia Malinin. Oh my! Does that work for you?
I don't even want you to say it again. I just think we should check
It
that
hurts. This is on par with Walling making me do Shannon Sharp pre and post games.
I think what you just said is what happens when I slam my hand on a keyboard. I think that's what you just said.
Yes, we'll check in with that.
Checking in with that, over to Air Late.
Pete Incaviglia and the
I'm pretty sure to make it a little bit easier on you because you sound like you're hurting yourself. At least when I remember his name being pronounced, the G was silent, so I always thought it was Pete Incaviglia. So it'd be Pete Incaviglia Malinin. It rolls much better when you don't try to pronounce the G. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's correct. It's Pete Incaviglia Malinin. Well, the only thing I was going to say is that he was the outfielder, though, but Hollins was the third baseman. So I don't know if that
Ooh.
because Incaviglia, I think, platooned with either Eisenreich or Milt Thompson, if I remember correctly.
Oh, you're totally right about that. You're totally right about that.
God, that
Ooh.
was worth pointing
I
out.
hate
Matt.
to call you out.
Josh's
No.
question. No, you should. And Josh's question was flawed. I keep track of Josh flawed questions.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Private tally.
Yeah, I think that I went through baseball. Okay, both teams are correct. The answer is Pete Incaviglia Malin, and you are absolutely correct, Matt. Dave Hollins was the third baseman, and yeah, Eisenreich, Milt Thompson, and Lenny Dykstra were the many outfielders on that team. Right?
That was a seminal team in my life. I was 13, so
Me too. Yeah.
This is what happens when you study Baseball Reference as opposed to actually watch the games because you were 1 year old.
Ouch. Well, if it makes you feel any better, this is why I don't know how to pronounce any NBA players the last 10 years. So,
well, Oklahoma State alum Pete Incaviglia does hold the NCAA Division I records for home runs in a season with 48 and in a career with 100. He also played for the Orioles, Tigers, Astros, and Yankees. After his career, he served as the crane operator for Al Gore's direct-to-video sequel, An Incaviglia Truth. Not really. And Malinin is something else, though I do have to say for pure entertainment value, I might take Yuma Kageyama. He's one spunky guy. All right. On to question number 4. 1983 Phillies pitcher who is the last NL Cy Young winner to never make an All-Star game appearance in his career. And AL pitcher who is the last to win 30 games in a season, doing so in 1968.
We're checking in.
Air Latio has checked in. We needed a lift. Talk it out.
Yeah, we were just about there, Mason.
Yeah, I knew I was almost 100% certain the second half's Denny McClain.
Yeah.
Because 60 was the year of the pitcher. They had all Bob Gibson, McClain in the AL. And I wouldn't have got the first half. I'm thankful you pulled that name because I did not have that one.
The minute that you put down Denny McClain, I was able to pull out John Denny because it's really one of my favorite nicknames, right? The Wheeze Kids is so fun. What a perfect group name there. So much better than Moneyball A's. So we have John Denny McClain. That's on right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Let's check in.
All right. Back over to you, Air Latio.
That's what we had as well. John Denny McClain. I knew that one.
Both teams getting it right. Perfect through the first quarter. Despite his name, John Denny never hit a home run, let alone a grand slam. Denny McClain had one career homer, but no slams. If you want to guess the player who holds the record for most grand slams given up and hit by a player named Denny?
Is Denny Walling?
Hard to imagine that it's Denny Martinez.
It's not Denny Martinez. It's not Denny Walling.
Is it Denny Nagel?
It is
Denny
Denny Nagel.
Nagel.
Wow.
Yeah. Denny Nagel gave 7 grand slams up and hit 2, and has free grand slams for life at Denny's. I'm not sure if that's true.
When I was a kid, John Denny was a big pitcher, like starting in the mid 70s. I was very confused when I first saw the Denny's Grand Slam because I thought it was like, he's a pitcher. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I actually was legitimately confused by that when I was a kid. Because who understands there are multiple Denny's? It doesn't. Yeah. Anyway,
You had a Denny's in the 1850s?
Nice.
That brings us to the end of the first quarter, and with both teams at a perfect 100.
We wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
And that will bring us to the second quarter. Today's second quarter will be the missing link.
The missing link. This quarter will consist of 5 questions with theme-linked answers. The teams will attempt to answer the questions and guess the theme. Each question is worth 20 points. A correct guess to the theme before the 5th question will earn the first team 100 points. The other team can still earn 50 points with a correct theme guess. If neither team has identified the correct theme before the 5th question, both teams can still earn 50 points with a correct theme guess.
Question 1 in the missing link. This wide receiver, who followed his quarterback Graham Mertz from Wisconsin to Florida, led the NFL in combined return yardage this past season as a rookie.
Because we were just talking about this in another episode.
Yes, that's true. Yes, that's it.
All right, we can check in.
We Needed a Lift has checked in and given a little bit of a clue to the other team if you want to pick up on it. Feel free to talk it out, Airlatio.
Wait, I feel like this did just come up, but I wasn't on the episode. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, what about that guy? He plays for the Titans.
Oh, Jameer Dyke?
Yes. He went to Wisconsin and transferred to Florida, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm really bad at modern football names. That's why I remember things about them, but I
don't
can't
even
remember
know
names.
if that's how he says his name. I just know.
Okay, well, that's the beautiful of this.
Fantasy waiver wire.
That's what makes sense. Let's just check in with the last name then, and then we don't have to worry about how to pronounce his first name.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we'll check in with Dyke.
Okay, over to We Needed a Lift.
Wow.
Was that terrible?
I messed up Pete Incaviglia's name.
Oh, shoot.
This is even worse.
It is. I honestly, I don't blame you.
10 times
I've
worse.
seen his name 100 times. How is it pronounced?
It is
DK.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chimere Chimere DK. Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to censor that.
Yeah, I know. You're probably
not
not going to. God, this is terrible. Yes, cut this all out, what I'm about to say. But I can remember one of my kids when they were in kinder music or whatever, like preschool music class. The teacher's name was something like D-I-I-K, and I said, the teacher's name is Dyke, and then my wife sort of corrected me, saying, no, of course not. Why would you have a name that's pronounced Dyke? It's and I was like, great, thanks. That's just wonderful. So anyway, all right, you're gonna have to cut this all out. We yes.
Nope.
It's all staying. It's
just one big whistle.
You know what? That's a great name right there. You're gonna have to cut this all out.
Both teams are getting points. The answer is Chimere DK. As mentioned in a previous episode, DK broke Tim Brown's 37-year-old record for rookie all-purpose yards. Of course, the new kickoff rules did help him a little bit. Our first answer in the missing link is Chimere DK. Question number 2. This NBA guard is an alum of a Big Ten school in the same state where his mom is the head coach of the women's basketball team at a school that plays in the ACC. He was recently traded from the NBA Central Division leader to a slumping division rival. Maybe he's poison?
We can check in.
We Needed a Lift has checked in. Airlatio. Take your time. You got some time to talk it out.
Yeah, so central leader is the Pistons. I think the reference here is actually Jaden Ivey, because he was traded to the Bulls recently, and he was the point guard at Purdue with big tall guy. Maybe he's Poison Ivy. Duh. Okay, yes, it's Jaden Ivey. Sorry. Oh God, you got to. One of the things is, Matt, you got to watch the Josh clues because they go by quickly sometimes. Yes.
No, I heard Poison, and I was like, "Is it Bobby Brown?" That was where my mind went. Or Belle Biv DeVoe something, but yeah, Jaden Ivey sounds right to me.
Yes, okay, we'll check in with Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
All right, over to you. We Needed a Lift.
Oh my God, and we had a Belle Biv DeVoe. This is like the second time we mentioned them in like the past month. That's crazy.
Is it driving you out of your mind, Dave?
Okay. Anyway, yeah, Dave had this right away, and I totally forgot. I didn't get the clue either. I was thinking Belle Biv DeVoe too, or Brett Michaels. I was like, I don't know where this is going. I don't.
Right.
But yeah, it's Jaden Ivey.
Both teams correct. It is indeed Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey chose Purdue over his mom's alma mater, where she coaches Notre Dame. Even though he'd played well, injuries have derailed his past 2 seasons, and the Pistons seem to have found their groove without him. And with a number of other young stars due for a payday, he was sent to Chicago in a 3-team deal with the T-Wolves, along with Mike Conley, with Kevin Huerter, a first-round pick swap, and the oft-traded Dario Saric.
Your little clue of maybe he's poison, you said in a jestful way. No, he's also kind of like a toxic player as well. So don't forget of his draft night craziness with the Kings.
I would argue at this point he kind of hasn't panned out. He was like the 5th pick or something.
Yeah, because he was supposed to go number 4, and
he made a stink.
Then he was like, I will not play for the Sacramento, yada yada, which in all fairness worked out nicely.
Yeah, sure.
But now you're on the Bulls, and they're god awful.
They are terrible.
So,
As opposed to the Pistons, who are playing very, very well.
Our first two answers in the missing link are Chimere Dike and Jaden Ivey. Moving on to question number 3. This Pro Football Hall of Famer, enshrined posthumously with the 4th class in 1966, was the originator of the A formation, and he's still the all-time leader in coaching wins for the only NFL team he coached for, with 153. He will not be appearing in Jackass 5 with Johnny Knoxville. That's a different dude.
We will check in.
Airlatio is checked in. We needed a lift. Feel free to talk it out.
yeah, we were thinking about it, and I had to do a little bit of deep diving in my brain because I believe this guy passed away like 2 years ahead of his enshrinement. But we checked in with Steve Owen.
All right, over to you, Airlatio.
We had the same.
Both teams getting points. Steve Owen is correct, not Steve-O, Steve Owen. Owen's original goal was to become a jockey, a dream denied by his 5'11", 230-pound frame that earned him the nickname Stout Steve. He started to play pro football in 1924 at $50 a game for Eric Walling's favorite team, the NFL's Kansas City Cowboys, who played all their games on the road. A real team, actually. So our answers in the missing link are Chimere Dike, Jaden Ivey, and Steve Owen. Moving on to question number 4. This running back led the nation in touchdowns as a sophomore in 2018, helping his team to the national championship. Staying for 4 years, he set multiple conference career records and broke Donnell Pumphrey's record by scoring a touchdown in 46 college career games before reuniting with his college quarterback in the NFL.
Josh, we can check in.
All right. We needed a lift has checked in. Airlatio, feel free to talk it out.
I have a thought,
Okay,
but
hit
I
me.
don't know if it goes with our theme that we're thinking of.
Okay, go ahead.
Where did Trevor Lawrence go to college?
Clemson.
Where did Etienne, the running back, go to college?
Clemson.
So that would be my answer because that's the only
Travis Etienne.
Travis Etienne. Is it Etienne? Etienne?
I think it's pronounced ATN, but
Etienne.
it's Frenchish. We'll need Mason to
Okay.
help us.
So that's the only title.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure that
running
makes
back
a
NFL
ton of
combo I can
sense.
think of.
No, that makes total
Okay.
sense. Wait, what was the bit about following his college? Because
He reunited
ATN
with
is
him in the NFL.
right, so that would make perfect sense. He did go to Clemson. Okay, we'll check in with ATN.
Okay, over to you. We needed a lift.
Go ahead, Frenchie.
I'm qualified because he's from Louisiana. So
There you
yeah,
go, see?
I'm good. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I was blanking on it, and then thankfully Dave gave me a team because I forgot who won the national championship in 2018. He said Jags running back, and I was like, yeah, that has to be Travis Etienne because it fits everything. Because he had returned the next year, and that's when they lost to LSU in 2019. So yeah, Travis Etienne.
Both teams getting points. In a pre-draft interview with Steve Smith Sr., Travis clarified that his last name is pronounced Etienne rather than Etienne or Etienne.
Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense for French. I think it's really confusing. We have Devon Etienne. Sounds awfully close to it.
Moving on to question number 5. This current NBA big man was the first player to be named Unanimous Player of the Year for all major awards, including the Wooden, the Naismith, and the AP, since Bill Walton in 1973, as well as the first Canadian player to do so.
Hey, Josh.
Hey,
We could check in.
We needed a lift, checking in, Airlatio. Talk it out.
Yeah, I was totally foreshadowing this one because I mentioned when we were talking about Ivy, and I said he played in Purdue. He was always passing the ball to the big guy, and the big guy. Now I have to remember his name, but it's Zach Edey. So that's definitely who it is for many reasons.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Are you all right? You ready
That
with
sounds
that?
good.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll check in Zach Edey.
Over to you. We needed a lift.
That was the most polite sneeze of all time, Matt. I appreciate that. And it figures that this player would come up, especially because we needed a lift, because we have ED.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. How do I work that into an episode title? Both teams are getting their points. The answer is, of course, Zach Eady, teammate of the aforementioned Jaden Ivey in college. Eady is also the first player of Asian heritage to win the Naismith and the first repeat winner since Ralph Sampson. His main sports as a kid were hockey and baseball, and he actually didn't play organized basketball until 10th grade.
In all fairness, Josh, lots of men go through it. There's your episode title.
Lots of men go through the Purdue Boilermakers. Both teams got it right, but Air Latio got it in just about a minute, maybe even like 30 seconds earlier before we needed a lift. So why don't I go to Air Latio to talk out what your answer is?
Once I messed up DK's name. That put us in a different frame of mind. So by the time we got to the second answer, I've already forgotten what it was. Was that where Ivy came up? Yeah. We said it was sort of like, okay, the way, and Josh was almost emphasizing it when he said it. DK, Ivy. We were like, these are last names that could be spoken out loud as letters, or there's probably a word for that. Sound like initials, something. So that's what we checked in with. Right. I sat on it for through the second question when we figured out what it was. As soon as we figured out the third answer, we sent it. So that's what we had.
So yeah, I believe what you sent in is exactly right. Is last names are two letters, or last names could be spelled alternately with two letters. And
hold on, but how do you pronounce Travis's last name?
HN.
Oh, so all along I was like, we must have had it wrong because it was ETN.
HN, right? But right,
that was a lucky bounce because I thought we missed it as soon as I heard that. So
that's what we were worried about too.
Okay,
I was
okay.
like,
ETN. And as soon as Dave said, they said the same thing, so we're fine.
Yeah.
So I was like, he was right. He was totally right.
We were expecting Quincy AC.
Yeah, Quincy AC.
That's what we
Any
were
other
expecting.
Thoughts? Yeah, one sad cut that I didn't get into this quarter because it was a first name, not a last name, was Yue Blob.
That is great. And I will tell you that as soon as DK came up, when we realized that I completely said it wrong, Matt immediately sent over, you think these are all Donkey Kong references? That'd be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
No.
Right. Mario Lemieux comes up.
Expected in the next episode.
Mario Lemieux comes up, and then, barrel racing. And
So after the second quarter, we have a score of Air Latio out to a bit of a lead at 300, and we needed a lift at 250, and that will bring us to halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions, with each question worth 25 points.
Today's halftime will be, what? An odd one out. David and Matt are both alums of what I consider a second-tier Ivy League university. Nevertheless, it's an opportunity to celebrate and roast a fellow Brown alum, also Jewish, yes, Chris Berman. We're going to go back, and look at some oldie but goodie Chris Berman names. Each question will have 5 authentic Berman-authored names and 1 that I made up. Your job is to figure out which one that is.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, this is so... Okay, Dave, I rarely say this. Nothing could be more in my sweet spot. so we're fine. Matt.
Who studies Bermanisms?
I've asked these about Bermanisms, and Mason, I promised myself I would never do it again because Mason kept shaking his head at me the entire half. Do you remember this, Mason?
Good, I get to do it. Yes, I'm having flashbacks right now. It's fine.
Question number 1 in halftime. These are all names from Major League Baseball. Rich, protect your car with Amaral. Nomar, Mr. Nice Guy Garcia Parra. Paul Skeens from an Italian restaurant. Jose, that's my wife, get Offerman. Todd, which hand does he froworth? And Carlos, 1 if by land, 2 if by erga.
We'll check in.
We Needed a Lift has checked in. Air Latio, feel free to talk it out.
Okay, so this is what I know for sure. Rich, protect your car with Amaral is definitely right. I remember that one. Nomar, Mr. Nice Guy Garcia Parra is definitely right. I know that one. One of my favorites was Todd, which hand does he froworth is absolutely correct. And I always knew it slightly differently, but he used to use Carlos 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, 3 if by erga. But I'm going to assume that doesn't count as making it up. He just abbreviated it. Right. So those are definitely right. Then what we were just talking about in the chat is Paul Skeens is very recent. Although Skeens from an Italian restaurant does sound like something Berman would say. So if he did it in a home run comp, what were you suggesting? Like a home run derby or something like that?
Yeah, or an all-star game or something.
An all-star game. It's possible he threw that in there. Every once in a while he shows up and makes these up. The Jose, That's My Wife, Get Offerman. It sounds like, to your point, what you said, Matt, was he doesn't normally go R-rated with these.
Well, I did once hear him say Neil Nice Rackers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But
Now you spoiled another question.
No,
but I agree with you That's My Wife, Get Offerman doesn't. It's also just not where my mind would go with offer. I would think it would be like make me an offer, man, or something.
It does seem too R-rated for him, right?
Yeah, I would go with Jose Offerman. That would be my guess.
There's a part of it that bothers me because I still go back with you know what? Now that I'm saying it, the more times I say it, I feel like I've heard this before, and now I can't just convince myself it's a false memory. I think it's Paul Skeens is the made up one.
Because now I'm hearing it out loud. That's My Wife, Get Offer Man.
Yeah.
So that makes it part of it.
Yeah.
Offer Man.
I think it's Skeens. I think we should guess Paul Skeens.
Okay, go for it.
All right, bottle of red, bottle of white. Paul Skeens, that's our guess. Check it in.
Over to We Need a Lift.
I'm sorry. Mason, did you happen to see a backup truck anywhere?
Look at how they're looking around on our audio medium.
That's some nonsense. I think I have an in on this game, dang it. And David, walking it all the way back like that. We had the same dang thing, Paul Skeens.
Yeah, you know me. Paul Skeens is correct. Yeah, he and Livy were the popular steadies and the king and the queen of the prom at LSU, right, Mason? That's My Wife, Get Offerman was a original Berman name. All right, moving on to question number 2. These are all NFL names. Adam, oh, what a Thielen, dancing on the ceiling. Alexander, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. CJ, ah, you gonna be my girl. Vi, ask Vi, Sikahema. Jerome, you better, you bettis. Or JJ, Beast of Burden.
So now we don't even need the backup truck. So there, Dave. All right.
Hold on. We could have checked in a while ago, David. We're trying to be nice.
Yeah. Okay, we'll check in.
All right. Horatio has checked in and passed it over to the nice team. That is, We Needed a Lift. Talk it out.
Well, Mason, I think we were talking about this, and I don't know. I feel quite confident about it being CJIU.
I don't have any strong reads on it other than my thought was, what?
Settle down. I realize David made you angry, but
We're getting dangerously close to ASMR territory, so let's hold off on that.
Look, man, we're expanding our medium, okay?
My thing is Chris Berman going to understand that reference? Like, does he know the song by Jet? I have no idea. Like,
it was pretty popular. I mean, it was pretty
Berman was
big.
old by that point. Like, sure, he knows Lionel Richie, but like, I don't know. That just seems like a reference. It doesn't feel like a reference he would use. But I don't have anything extreme feeling on it. If you think that, I'm fine with it.
That is true. Yeah, let's check in with CJ. Are you gonna be my girl?
Over to Alicia. What do you have?
Yeah, same logic. I actually don't even know really who CJIU is. I just know that there's no way that Berman would know that Jet song. And about 3 or 4 of the other ones I know for sure are real. So that's what I got. CJIU.
Yes. Suck it, Berman.
Both teams are getting points. You are both exactly right. Yeah, CJIU, I believe defensive end, linebacker, who went to BYU, which ends with his name, but he never played for the Jets or Jet, who did sing that song, as Mason just said. All right, on to question number 3, which is a mixed bag, because Berman didn't really do a lot of names for other sports besides football or baseball, but I've mixed in some here anyway. Okay. Ron, born in the U.S., say. Leon, Canada, Draisaitl. Osekan, UC Jokinen. Supreme, Cortez Kennedy. Miguel, Tejada, they come, Tejada, they fall. And Michael, como está Husted?
Okay, we'll do it. Go ahead. Check it in, Mason. Go ahead, do it. You do it. I don't want to
check in.
I don't want to piss off David.
It's really easy to do. It's really easy to do.
That's not true. Although my heel turn is still coming.
Oregon sucks.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
All righty then. Humble heel. We needed a lift is checked in. You just got a couple seconds to talk it out, Airlatio.
All right. So for sure we know the ones we know are real. Ron Say I remember. Miguel Tejada they come, Tejada they fall is definitely right. Supreme
right.
Cortez Kennedy, I'm pretty sure is right. Plus we were just talking about the fact that it's one of Josh's favorite Seahawks of all time. So he'd throw that one in. The two we're really down to are Canada Dryzadi and Osei Ken Juicy Jokinen.
Who's Jokinen? Who's he?
He's a hockey player.
Is he newer or older?
I don't know what you mean by newer or older.
What era did he play?
Oh, he would have been late aughts into the teens.
Because
it's borderline about whether
Drysaitl's a modern player, right?
The problem is, I was about to say that I thought that Jose Cruz, he used Jose Can You See, but then I remembered that I think he did Jose Won't You Take Me on a Sea Cruise. But I can't imagine that Jose Can You See has not come up for anybody. So it's definitely I actually think it's either Jokinen or Jezadi, but I really think it's Jokinen is the one that's made up. I don't feel that strongly about it. I really don't.
I just know that Draisaitl's a modern hockey player, and I'm just like, when would Berman have ever covered modern hockey?
I'll let you decide. You're the guest. Flip a coin for us.
I'll say Draisaitl. I have no idea.
Okay. Draisaitl. Okay. That's where check in with.
Over to you. We needed a lift.
Feels like another beep, beep, beep.
Go back, Jack. Do it again.
We checked in with the same thing. It felt the same way, and I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it would be weird for him to use a Canada line on a German player. So yeah, that's what we checked in with was Leon Draisaitl as well.
Yeah, but that's exactly what he did. He just recently did a top 10 hockey player names, and Leon Canada Draisaitl was right up there with him. Osei Can You See Jokinen is indeed the one that I made. UC Jokinen played for 9 teams over a 14-year career. He never played with Logan Couture, robbing us of the chance to have the Juicy Couture line on the ice. After halftime, we have scores of Airlatio with 350, and We Needed a Lift with 300. That'll bring us to the third quarter. Today's third quarter will be Thrive on Fee.
Oh, no.
5 on 3. For this quarter, there will be 3 categorized lists containing 5 items, where each item is worth 10 points. The teams will attempt to guess as many items as they can. However, if a team has an incorrect guess, they will receive 0 points for that list.
Alrighty, this is the one I've been waiting for, and the reason that I brought Matt on the show. Yes, it's another quarter style that I'm messing up with today, but it's only the name, not the rules. Matt and I have a shared love of the spoonerism. That is the inversion, purposeful or accidental, of the consonant sound from the beginning of 2 words. Like saying, that was a sad ballad, instead of that was a bad salad. For this 5 on 3, I'm going to give you a clue to 5 athletes from a particular league, along with a description of their spoonerized names. You have to give me as many of the spoonerized names as you can. For example, 90s guard who has his number 12 retired by the Denver Nuggets has developed a high temperature in his upper back muscle. You would say?
A lat fever.
Lat fever.
Lat fever, yes.
That is incredible.
They're not that hard. So just so you know, to clarify here, my rule, different people do spoonerisms different ways. My rules are you move the whole consonant sound, not just the first letter. So
got it.
Josh,
That's good to know.
So Josh Snyder becomes Snosh Jiter. Also, if there is no consonant, you swap the nothing with the consonant sound and pronounce what you have. So Art Fowler becomes Fart Owler. Simple enough. Even if it's not spelled correctly, go with the meaning of the homophone. Okay? Ready? Question number 1 and 5 on 3. Here you go. These are all NFLs. Number 1, 1985 to 95 Eagles QB, who is a taper stuck into a rushing pineapple glazed meat. Number 2, 2004 to 10 Bengals quarterback, who is a more relaxed Protestant pastor. Question number 3, the Minister of Defense has got his panties correctly in a bunch. Question number 4,
Wow.
1973 to 87 Chargers quarterback who inspires concern among team supporters. And question number 5, 2002 to 12 Ravens Hall of Fame defensive back who is a bench warmer that turns beet color every time you mention Jerry Jones.
Yes. We're done. We'll check in.
Oh my God. That was 30 seconds.
I'm sorry. All I can tell you is that Matt was typing as fast as Josh was talking.
Airlatio is checked in with all 5. Over to you to talk it out.
Wait. Hang on a second. Just to be clear, we didn't necessarily check in with all 5.
Okay. Oh, Airlatio is checked in. Fine.
With all 12.
I don't think he would check in with only 4 of them at this point, but Airlatio is checked in. Over to you. We needed a lift.
I think I have all 5 too.
Yeah. Again, once I'm able to read it, him
Yes.
saying it out loud, I just
Him saying out loud is useless. Okay, so in order: Handle Runningham, Parson Calmer, Wedgie Wright. That one's a hard one to say, but Fan Doubts and Red Eid, which I think is my favorite one of all of them. You good with those 5?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just curious how much time it took for him to write all 15 of these. I'm gonna be it's impressive.
All
in a way.
15 as we just completely squash it in 20 seconds.
Yeah. This might be my favorite round style I've played.
That's so
this
nice.
I like this one. All right, but yeah, we're gonna check in with those 5.
All right. Over to you, Airlatio. What do you got?
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Handle Runningham, Parson Calmer, Wedgie Wright, Fan Doubts, and then I didn't know what Red Eid meant, but I knew the thing was Ed Reed, so.
Yep, all 5.
Both teams getting full points. Nicely done. See, not that hard. Ed Reed is still red because the Ravens won a Super Bowl within 2 years of the beginning and end of his career, and he didn't win either of those Super Bowls. Okay, on to question number 2. These are all MLB players. Number 1, 2006 to 15 Phillies World Series champion pitcher who is a subspecies of dromedaries with a fistula in their humps. Question number 2, AL MVP and 4-time World Series champ who places bets exclusively on the team known as the Kings of Queens. Question number 3, current Guardians catcher who protests the largest Baptist university in the world. Question number 4, 1992 to 2000 Phillies pitcher who won 3 World Series with 2 other teams, yet has a penchant for murdering polos and button-downs, in addition to his well-known bloodied sock. And question number 5, reigning AL Rookie of the Year who will punt your unmentionables.
Yeah, we'll check in.
We needed a lift has checked in. Airlatio. Take a little time to talk it out.
Yeah, so as fast as Josh was reading them, Matt was pulling them out, especially the Phillies guys. So whole camels for sure. I'll skip number 2 for a second because it took us the longest for that one. I was thinking about number 3, and I was like, largest Baptist university, and then I was like, Bo Naylor, so that's no Baylor. Number 4 is my least favorite Red Sox of all time, even as a Red Sox fan, Shirt Killing. And number 5 is, of course, Kick Nerds. And that brought us to number 2, and we were sort of beating our head against the wall for a little while here because we were like AL MVP and 4-time World Series champion. Like that 4-time World Series brought us both to like the Yankees dynasty of the late 90s. But then I was like, well, Derek Jeter didn't win an MVP. So then I was like, oh, wait a minute. It has to be because it's King of Queens. It has to be Betts. Somehow Mets and Betts. So we worked it out that it was instead of Mookie Betts, it would be, I guess, Bookie, not Bookie. Maybe it would be Bookie Mets.
Bookie Mets works.
Bookie Mets. Okay. All right. There you go. Whole camels.
It's pronounced HN.
That's right.
Over to you guys. We needed a lift. Yeah.
Yeah, we were struggling with 2 for a little bit as well because I was thinking of is this some guy who played on the 70s A's or like I was trying to figure out a time period for that, but yeah, luckily Dave came up with it. So yeah, in order, whole camels, I'm going to say Bookie Metz because maybe his name is pronounced Mookie, which
Yeah.
I've heard people say that name that way. So I'm going to assume it's Bookie Metz. No Baylor, Shirt Killing, and Kick Nerds.
Both teams getting full points. Those are all the right answers. Nicely done, everybody. The honorable mention here today is recent Phillies cast-off that I almost used instead of Kick Nerds. Kick Nasty Lanos. A Lano.
That sounds offensive.
Kick Nasty Llanos. Llano is a treeless, grassy plain, but I did not think that would be a word that everybody would know. I used it in that spelling bee thing. Call 1-900-NIX-A-LOT and kick those nasty Llanos. Say that 10 times faster.
Nice.
Okay. Anyway, on to our last question, last group in 5-on-3, and these are NBA players. Number 1, 1987 to 98 Bulls, longtime number 2, who leaps from toilet to toilet. Number 2, future Hall of Fame point guard, whose rights were just traded to the Raptors last week, who is in urine, creeping on his hands and knees. Number 3, current Mavs guard, who is real nice in Jamaican patois, as well as undulating, perhaps as a counterpoint to his nickname, World Be Flat. Number 4, 2005 to 14 Pacers small forward, who warns his gam of impending peril. 2005 to 14 Pacers small forward, who warns his gam of impending peril. Okay, got it. And finally, number 5, Twins center, who has spent most of his career on the Nets from 08 to 16 and the Bucks from 2018 to 25, who calls out, "Check it, dude, brick-like Austrian candy being dispensed from the carotid region of a novelty dispenser."
We're going to check in.
Their ratio is checked in. We needed a lift. Tug it out.
It's definitely that name, Mason, because I did a World B Flat reference not too long ago in a game I hosted. So that definitely works for Irie curving.
I don't get the joke on that one, but hopefully you do. I don't get that's the only one I haven't gotten so far.
Yeah, it goes with the undulating. Don't worry. We got that.
Okay.
So
but I think we have the other ones for sure.
Okay. Read them off. This is your favorite round
Okay.
of all time.
All right. So potty skipping, piss crawl. Sure. We're gonna
And
at
to
that
think
point.
we were worried about penis gate as a suggestion for a name.
Yeah. We've gotten and David saying words and all stuff. Irie curving, which I still don't get the joke. You're gonna have to explain that to me in a little bit. Granny danger, and look, bro Pez. So we're gonna check in with those 5.
All right, over to you, Arlatio.
Yeah, we're going to make this easy. We had the exact same. And once again, Matt was typing in the answers as fast as Josh was reading them out loud. So yeah, we had the exact same ones.
Yep. That is correct. Yes, we've got potty skipping, piss crawl, Irie curving, granny danger, and look, bro, Pez. I really do want to see the Lopez twins geek out over some cool Pez dispensers together. Everybody got that quarter perfect. So we are coming out of the third quarter with the following scores. Slightly in the lead by 50 points, just due to the missing link. We've got Arlatio at 500. Just behind them with 450, we needed a lift. That will bring us to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that the teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
And the categories are based on some of Matt's jokes from his comedy albums, The Matt Goldich Guarantee and No Questions Asked. David wasn't the only one who did a little research. Question number 1. I'm a FanDuel feminist in NCAA basketball. Question number 2. Red Rover, all the Jews come over in Major League Baseball. Question number 3. What are you going to do? You're not going to get rid of football. I have to have something to talk to my dad about in the NFL. And question number 4. I choose to focus on the things that unite us. The one thing that we all have in common is that we all have a podcast. Every single one of us in Athlete Podcasts. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the show called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and interact with the rest of the Benchwarmers community. If you would be able to rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, or any other podcast app, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. Question number 1, I'm a FanDuel feminist in NCAA basketball. I'd like you to name the lowest seed to win the women's NCAA tournament, as well as one of the teams representing the seed to do it. This has happened 3 times, twice in the 90s with a first-time champ from the ACC, and with a multi-time champ from the SEC, and once in the 2020s with a first-time champ from the SEC. If you name at least 2 teams, I would give you a bonus 5 points on top of your bid.
Okay, we're going to check in.
Erlatio is checked in. Feel free to talk it out. We needed a lift.
Okay, well, I'm glad that I have an end to this because I'm pretty sure LSU won as a 3 seed in 2023.
Yeah,
So-
and I agree. I remember seeing this when it actually happened.
Yeah, it was a very big game because Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese and all the stuff going on around that.
And I know the other 3 seed, or at least one of the other 3 seeds, was Tennessee, because
And they
that
won
was one
multiple
of,
in the 90s.
and that was Pat Summitt's, crazy squad. So even though they were a 3 seed because they weren't so hot in the regular season, they weren't exactly an underdog squad.
Right.
So that totally makes sense as well. So we'd want to check in with LSU, Tennessee.
Yeah, if we only need 2, then go with those.
I think I got the other one, but let's see if David wants it, or Matt, whoever.
I think David's gonna want it. I have a hunch David's gonna want it if it's that one.
That makes sense. Okay, then we'll check in with LSU and Tennessee for 100 points.
And the number. You also got to give me the number seed.
3.
Oh,
3.
number 3.
Yes. Okay. All right. Over to you, Erlatio.
Yeah, it's the 3rd seed, and I think they had the first 2 right, or not the first 2, but the most recent 2, Tennessee and LSU. I think the one in the mid 90s was North Carolina, which if you weren't a women's basketball fan, you wouldn't remember this, but one of the stars of that team was later disgraced sprinter Marion Jones, who sort of did her thing in Atlanta, and then, or was it Athens? I can't remember, whenever it was, and then she got stripped of her medals, and it was a whole thing, and then she went to prison, and anyway, yeah. So we'll check in with 3, Tennessee, North Carolina.
Both teams getting points, including the full bonus. You got all 3 of them between you. It is the 1994 UNC team, the 1997 Tennessee team, and 2023 LSU team. The women's NCAA tournament is fairly chalky. The lowest seed to even make the Final Four is a number 9. And the closest to number 4 came to winning is in that 94 season when Louisiana Tech, as a number 4, lost the national championship by 1 point to UNC. The 97 Tennessee team, led by MOP Shamika Holdsclaw, was in the middle of a three-peat. The team had lost 10 games during the season. They were probably underrated. And 2023, probably also underseeded at 34-2, of course, was led by Angel Reese, beating Iowa in the national championship. Nicely done. Question number 2. Red Rover, all the Jews come over. I can't do it as well as you, Matt, but I try. Hey, not all of us are completely unathletic. This is a fill-in-the-blanks question about a routine fly ball in the World Series, notable only because all 3 players involved are Jewish. In the second inning of Game 6 of the 2021 World Series, the Astros' third baseman Blank hit a pitch from Braves pitcher Blank to right field. Outfielder Blank caught the ball. Blank number 1 currently plays for the Chicago Cubs and recently played for the Red Sox. Blank number 2 is currently a starting pitcher for the New York Yankees, and blank number 3 is currently a Texas Ranger. So who checked in?
We
Dave,
did.
if
We
you're
checked
good with
in.
that,
We
yeah.
checked in.
Sure,
Checked
we
in
checked in.
so hard.
We needed a lift. Has checked in. Erlatio, feel free to talk it out.
So number
Right.
1 is clearly Bregman. Who do you think
Yeah.
number 2 is?
I think you're right. That's Max Fried, right?
Max Fried. So number 3, wait, I got to go back and read it real quick. Who did he say this person played for? Because I've been concentrating on that one. So it was, did play for the, he played for the Braves. No, played for the Braves.
Played for the Braves and then now the Rangers.
Right. So now now I can go through my Jewish baseball player Rolodex.
Well, the only Jewish outfielder I could think of who I don't think played for either of those teams would be Harrison Bader.
No, I don't think so. I think that it's Jock Peterson. He played for the Braves then. I don't remember that.
That could be
I
right.
don't. I mean, I think he was with the Rangers last year, so that would make some sense. He played mostly for the Dodgers, but he's definitely Jewish. He's an MOT.
That could be right.
Mason's looking up MOT as we talk.
I'm just sitting here.
You got
I
it?
mean,
Okay.
Do I need
Okay.
to do that on incognito mode? Just let me know if that's the case.
No,
I need to know
no.
before I do.
MOT, member of the tribe.
I know it's not Garrett Stubbs. So
I'm pretty sure it's Jock Peterson. I feel
Go
pretty
for it.
confident about this. I know he's Jewish, and the teams make sense.
sure, go for it.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna check in with. Let's get this right. Bregman, Fried, Peterson,
Okay, over to you. We
the
need
law
a
firm.
lift.
We had the same thing. Both Mason and I worked through this. I will also say Jock Peterson has the single greatest walk-up music known to man, which is "Humble" by the Lonely Island. So yes, we checked in with the exact same 3 for 100 points.
Both teams getting their points. Indeed, it is Alex Bregman, Max Fried, and Jock Peterson. Peterson went to Palo Alto High School and played for the school's football team and was the number 1 wide receiver with 30 receptions in his senior year for 650 yards and 9 touchdowns. He racked up more yards and touchdowns than his teammate, future NFL 2-time All-Pro, first-team wide receiver, Devontae Adams, who was a junior at the time. Speaking of football, moving on to question number 3. What are you going to do? You're not going to get rid of football. I have to have something to talk to my dad about in the NFL. Speaking of football, and I had to talk about it, guys, Super Bowl 60 is notable for being the first time a USC quarterback has ever started in a Super Bowl in Sam Darnold, and the first time a UNC quarterback has ever started in a Super Bowl in Drake May. Name one other Super Bowl in the last 25 years to feature 2 starting quarterbacks who were the first ever representatives, not necessarily graduates, of their schools to start a Super Bowl. If a player may have played for 2 different schools, you can count both schools that he attended, if he attended 2.
All right. Here's the deal. We're gonna check in.
Okay, Erlatio has checked in, giving, I'm going to say a minute to, we needed a lift to talk it out.
Who says we need a minute, Josh?
I just came up with one. I just got one. I just got another one.
We got yet another one.
Yeah, I have one. You ready?
All right.
Flacco Kaepernick, Delaware, Nevada. I doubt there's.
Oh my God.
more.
Yeah, there's no one else, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's an obvious one we should have got.
Well, again, it has to be. It has to be someone that. It's the first, right? Not the only.
Yeah, it's first.
Correct.
I think that's better. Flacco and Kaepernick. There's no way Delaware and Nevada had a starting quarterback.
Yeah, let's go with it.
I think the other ones we have are right, but I'm just gonna play it safe. So we're gonna go Flacco, Kaepernick in Super Bowl 48. I think it's what it was. The one in New Orleans when the power went out.
47. 47.
Oh, okay,
fine. I'll take
47.
that was a right answer then.
Yeah, so we're gonna go
I'm telling
Flacco,
you.
Kaepernick in New Orleans for 100 points.
Yeah. Okay. Over to the other team.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry to say, can I?
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh,
that
go for it.
Rich Gannon went to Delaware,
And
he
so?
would have been the first Delaware quarterback. So that's wrong, right?
Really?
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so here's what we checked in with. We went back on Mahomes and said Mahomes must have been the first Texas Tech quarterback, and then we were sort of tossing back and forth, and I said the first time he was in was against Garoppolo, who went to Eastern Illinois, and there's no way in heck another Eastern Illinois quarterback did. So we went for the famous Mahomes-Garoppolo matchup.
Yeah.
Although then we were just for kicks here, we were kicking around. I said the first time Tom Brady was in was against Kurt Warner, who went to Northern Iowa. So that I feel like that has to be an answer because I can't come up with another Michigan quarterback. I always want to say Greasy went there, but he went to Purdue. It was his son who went to Michigan. Anyway, we checked in with Texas Tech. Sorry, what are we supposed to say? Mahomes, Garoppolo.
Okay. One team getting points. Yep. Super Bowl 54, Mahomes and Garoppolo is correct. Unfortunately, that is correct. Rich Gannon did go to Delaware, meaning that Super Bowl 37 did feature first-timers in Brad Johnson from Florida State and Rich Gannon from Delaware. And even if you count Joe Flacco as coming from Pitt, Dan Marino had already appeared in a Super Bowl.
True.
So both of his schools were already represented for Joe Flacco. Other school,
No problem. I wasn't going to get there.
I think the other ones we had might have been right though.
Other Super Bowls that would have qualified. Do you want to shoot them out here, Mason? Tell me what you got.
Big Ben and Hasselbeck would have been one.
Super Bowl 40 with Big Ben and Hasselbeck for Boston College and Miami of Ohio would have qualified you. You had another one?
Grossman and Manning.
Super Bowl 41 with Grossman and Manning. So why did you do that one?
Because I wasn't sure about. We weren't sure about.
Wait,
Hasselbeck
Grossman was the first.
College.
I guess he was the first Florida quarterback, wasn't
And
he?
then I wasn't sure about Florida either.
It is
Florida or
great.
Tennessee.
Florida would
First
be a
and
bigger
only.
risk.
And David, you're right. Absolutely. I hadn't written this down, but you're right. Northern Iowa, the first Brady. Oh, wait a second. No, because that's not right. Because Kurt Warner had already appeared in the Super Bowl against Steve McNair.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
That one with Northern Iowa and Alcorn State would have counted, but I think
It was before 25 years ago.
Yeah,
It was one before 25 years ago, which is weird to think about.
I think it's that one because Super Bowl 36 was the Pats first.
From now on, you have to frame these up as in Mason's lifetime. Name a quarterback then
older than 25 though.
barely.
Other ones that would have qualified before the period of time, just for your entertainment. Bart Starr, Alabama, Len Dawson, Purdue, Super Bowl 1. And then the next one was Super Bowl 20 with Jim McMahon from BYU versus Tony Eason from Illinois. Super Bowl 25 with Jeff Hostetler from either West Virginia or Penn State versus Jim Kelly at Miami.
Wait, how is it possible they went from 1 all the way to 20 without having any new schools? Oh,
It's not that there weren't any new schools, but that there was at least a overlap of a school.
Because Bart Starr, because obviously he appeared in 2, so that wouldn't have counted.
Right.
Len Dawson continues.
Len Dawson
Purdue,
is 3, keeps the Purdue. Yeah.
and Greasy.
Right. Greasy appeared in so many, Staubach as well.
Right, and then Joe Namath in 3 broke the ice for Alabama, and so that...
No. Alabama was
Bart
already
Starr.
broken by Bart Starr.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God, that's right. You're right. Wow. That's crazy.
And he studies Bermanisms over that.
That brings us to the final question of the game. And the final question of the game, should I say the scores? I don't know.
No.
Don't.
I shouldn't. Here we go.
No, because I think it's now
Okay.
mathematically...
Final question of the game. I choose to focus on the things that unite us. The one thing that we all have in common is that we all have a podcast, every single one of us, an athlete podcast. Until recently, JJ Redick was the OG athlete podcaster. But since his elevation as coach of the Lakers, he's feeling, quote unquote, excommunicated from the content space. What current player, only 29 and a 394% career three-point shooter, recently took over for Redick as co-host of the Old Man of the Three podcast along with Tommy Alter? He was involved in a trade last July where he and a 2032 unprotected first-rounder were swapped for Michael Porter Jr. If you need another clue, and this only applies for those of you on the episode, sorry, listeners, no doubt one is staring you right in the face.
Oh, I get it.
We can check in.
Yeah.
Woo, okay. Okay, we needed a lift. Has checked in. Airlatio, feel free to talk this one out.
Staring you right in the face. Is it a spoonerism? Staring you right in the face. I thought I had it until then, but now I don't understand what that clue means. Oh, yes, I do. It's UNC legend Cam Johnson, who transferred from Pitt. Right, he's a 3-point specialist. He's been traded around. Actually, he's become a bit too much of a journeyman. But the cam must be a reference to the cameras right you and staring you right in the face. Right? No.
I guess was Michael Porter Jr. on the Nuggets?
He was on the Nuggets, traded to the Nets. Cam Johnson was on the Nets, traded to the Nuggets.
Okay.
That would make some sense. Staring you right in the face. I don't think I would have gotten it if I didn't have UNC on the brain. But does that make sense?
Sure.
So should we check in with Jam Conson? That probably doesn't sound too good either. All right, we will check in with Cam Johnson.
Okay, over to you. We needed a lift.
You're muted.
Sorry, I coughed. But you may think that didn't sound too good. But my first thought was, why is my Johnson staring at me right in my face? But yeah, we had the same thing. Cam Johnson, 100 points.
That is correct. It is Cam Johnson, and absolutely from UNC. Okay, 3-point shooter. Maybe not quite an old man yet. I'm not sure how he is on the podcast. I'm not sure if you've listened to him yet, but Yeah, your webcam is staring you right in the face, and that's where we go. All right. The game has come to an end, and here are the final scores. With their Johnson hanging in space, we needed a lift. Sorry, that doesn't really work.
Yeah.
The ultimate lift.
Maybe they really did need a lift. With 655 points, hanging out a little bit over their skis, we needed a lift. And our clipboard captains of the game, with 905 points, winning the first Memorial Brown University quarterback John Moxon Award, Air Latio.
We did it.
Nicely done. Matt, is there anything you'd like to say before we call it a night here?
No, it's been a pleasure playing trivia with you guys. I feel like I feel really bad about calling you out for that Delaware wrong answer, but my wife is from Delaware, and so I Delaware athletes. I'm just kind of that's really my for the next time now. I'm on. I don't pick Delaware athletes because
You only get one wheelhouse game, dude, and I already do all the
that's
Delaware
fair.
athletes because I worked there for a couple of years too.
That's right. Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered anyways, Matt.
Yeah.
All right, great having you. Thanks for joining us tonight, Matt. And anybody else? Anything else to say?
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Dave.
I will also say too, I did my research as we were looking up for team names, and as I was trying to figure out exactly what was everything going on with the skiers, I did come across a fantastic Yahoo article of 7 hunky Olympians with OnlyFans accounts for you to drool over. So this is my shout out for you, Yahoo Sports. You're about to see a huge uptick in readers.
Okay, 7 hunky Olympians with OnlyFans pages.
It does sound like an Onion article. I just want to say, Matt, thanks for coming on. Thanks for listening to the podcast when you get a chance. And Matt, you're a great teammate. I mean, it was fun. You definitely were parsing the questions much faster than I was tonight. So thank you for that.
It was fun.
He speaks fluent Snyder. Okay.
I'm still learning.
On behalf of David, Dave, Mason, and myself, we'd like to say thanks for listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Until next time, we'll keep the bench warm.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes!
The pitch from Acevedo. A drive deep to right field. Down the line. The Mariners win this game 2-1. The dream lives. They're going to the playoffs. The drought is over. Cal Raleigh. Wow. Hey now.
Want more trivia? Follow us at Benchwarmers TP on all social platforms for more sports facts and trivia. That's at Benchwarmers TP.